Hi, for this project, the stained glass windows project, you have been commissioned to create a 24 centimeter by 18 centimeter stained glass window. Once you've designed your window, you'll need to find out how much of each color glass that you will need for the project. The client is asking for. They only want regular polygons with a side length of 2 centimeters. You should use the shapes provided to you to trace your polygons. Be careful not to lose them. You're listed with from triangle to octagon. Your polygons may not overlap each other. In this example, the square will count in your totals, but the hexagon will not. That will count as clear glass, even though it's colored in blue. Partial shapes will not count. If you look at this example from a previous year, all of these shapes on the end are all partial shapes and none of them counted. They were all given credit as clear glass and did not count in the totals. Also, poorly traced shapes will not count. So every shape you see here that has the word no written on it was not counted and counted then as clear glass. The client also wants at least 75% in colored glass, so that's why it's important to make sure you're really tracing carefully. Cover as much of the window with regular polygons as possible. Any glass that's not filled in a regular polygon will be counted as clear glass, whether you've colored it in with your colors or markers or not. This example is only 50.7% of that page. The client wants a minimum of 3 shapes, so you can't just do a whole thing of squares, and they want between 3 and 6 colors. Step 1, design in pencil. Once you have it the way you like it, you can outline it in black that borders all the colored glass, and then you can color in your design. You can choose to either make a picture or some sort of mosaic. Then you'll find the area of every regular shape. Whether you use them or not, you're going to find all the areas from triangle to octagon. Make sure you show your work as in the example of the square here. Length times width, 2 times 2, 4. So the area of my square is 4. You'll do that for each one using the appropriate area formulas. Then you'll fill in color tables for all the colors that you're going to be using. So in that middle column, area of one named polygon, we know the area of one square is 4, so that will go in that box. Then you count how many shapes in each color you have. In this example, I have 1 yellow octagon. And I have 3 yellow triangles. Once you know how many you have of each shape in that color, you can fill in the rest of the table. So we're looking at yellow. There were 3 triangles. There was 1 octagon. You'll multiply the 3 and the 1 times the number in the middle column to get your total of that shape. Then you'll add the last column together to find the total amount of yellow glass that you need. Then you'll move on to the next color. The number of purple triangles is 4. The number of red pentagons is 2. So for my purple table, I only had 4 triangles. I'll multiply that by however big each triangle is, and that will be the amount of purple glass that I need. For red glass, I had 2 pentagons, so I'll multiply that by the area of each pentagon, and that total will be the amount of glass that I need in red. Then we'll move on to another. The number of green triangles is 14. The number of green squares is 12. So now I'll make a green table for all my green. For green, I had 14 triangles and 12 squares. So you'll multiply the 14 times the area of 1 triangle and the 12 times the area of 1 square, which we know is 4, so 12 times 4 is 48. You'll add together the total triangle and squares, and that will be the amount of green glass that is needed. Green glass that is needed. The number of cerulean blue squares, because one type of blue wasn't enough for me. There are 26 cerulean blue squares. The number of teal blue squares is 32. So now we'll make a cerulean blue table and a teal blue table. For my cerulean blue squares, there were 26, and 26 times 4 is a total of 104. Since that's the only shape I had in that color, that's how much cerulean blue I will need, is 104 square centimeters. I had 32 square tiles, or teal, so that's 128. So the amount of teal glass I'll need is 128 centimeters squared, or square centimeters. Once we know all the totals for each color, we'll fill in the last table. So for yellow, I know my total yellow is at the bottom of the yellow table. For purple, I'll get the total purple. Then for the amount of red, I'll look at my red table and find my total red needed. For the amount of green glass, I'll find my total green. Cerulean, we know our totals because it was only squares. So that's going to be 104. That's going to go on that last blank. And then for my teal, I'll look at my teal table, which was 128 centimeters. Once we have that part of the table filled in, to find the total amount of colored glass, we're going to add all the colors together. That's going to be our total amount of colored glass that we need. To find the amount of clear glass, if it's 24 by 18 for the window, that's 24 times 18 is 432 for the whole window. Take away how much is colored, and that difference will be the amount of clear glass. To find your percentage of colored glass, you divide your colored by your total and multiply by 100. It needs to be more than 75%. And I will be checking your math and counting your shapes, so please make sure that you are doing this correctly. If you have any questions, please check with your teacher. Thank you so much for watching.